Hi everyone, Tracy here. Well, today I'm going to share with you my first design team project, and it is for enchantmentsscrapbooking.com, and what it is the vintage mini album, and I call this a maxi mini album because it's pretty big. It's 12 inches by just under 6 inches, and it's perfect for your photos. You do not have to crop them down if you don't want to, and I will prove it with the photos I have in here. And it has all these different little elements to it that you can add if you want, or you could just have it flat, like plain, but I love all these little elements that you can add to it. So if you want to get one of these for yourself, like I said, I will post the links below, and you can get a hold of Theresa, and I'm sure she will be happy to send one along to you. Now, before Theresa had asked me to be on the design team, she had said that she wanted me to make things that I enjoy doing, that I would love to keep for myself or give away as a gift. Well, she might regret saying that, because when she sees what I did with her mini album here, she might change her tune. And what I did with mine is I made it into a hearse. And there's a story behind it. About 3 years ago, I think my daughter's finished college 3 years now, she took a multimedia course, and one of her classes was a photography course, which she loves. She's a photographer. She's excellent at it. And it was to reenact a movie into picture form. And I was not surprised in the least when she picked Night of the Living Dead, because we are big zombie fans in this house. So that was the inspiration to this mini album. And at the front here is Theresa's die cut of the vintage car. And I used my diamond glaze. I painted it all black and then used diamond glaze and painted the silver for the running boards and the handle. And then when I was researching vintage hearse, I noticed a lot of them had the spoked wheels, and I thought that was a neat touch. So that's what I did here. I embossed the wheels to look like spokes, and then put a brad in the middle. And this is from one of Tim Holt's papers. I just cut the license plate out. I thought that was a neat touch. And then just painted the radiator and everything else. And then here, if you could see, I'm not sure I'm going to keep that. My one daughter says, no, Mom, you should take that out. But here's one of my daughters dressed up as a zombie, and I have her in the back of the hearse. And then here I have a tombstone with some flowers. There's not too many flowers in this book, not very girly, I have to tell you that. And in the back, I have a tag of a casket. And then we will open it up. I also put, like, not die cut, what was I going to say now? I also tinted the windows, but it's kind of hard to tell with the background in this paper. So there's the front of the album. And I think you get 5 pages with this album. So here is the first 2 pages, and these are my favorite pages. And if you're not a zombie fan, maybe you should not look at this, because some of the pictures are pretty graphic. And the thing is, this is my middle daughter, Heather. We dressed her up like a zombie, or put her makeup on, and then my oldest daughter, Ashley, took the photos, and then my youngest daughter, Christy, was like the victim, I guess, in this in her reenactment. So here is the first page, and it says Zombie Apocalypse, and I made some tags, and I took some quotes from the movies in here. And this one, stay in your homes behind locked doors, and there's my daughter. Isn't she just gorgeous? And then I did some journaling on the back, and then here is another tag I did, and Emergency Broadcast Network. And here we are doing her makeup. My daughter, Ashley, the oldest one, she started with her makeup, and then she kind of got frustrated, I guess, and I got to take over. And then here is another journaling spot. And if you remember, I use recipe cards for my journaling because I need to have straight lines. So I just ink the heck out of these things, and you wouldn't even know, but I still get my straight lines. And like I said, I didn't crop these photos. This is how they came, And I made little booklets because I wanted to showcase all my daughter's photography. And this one, as creepy as it is, like, look how professional it is. She has even another picture with her hand in the background, and we just had a blast making this as a family. And like I said, this was done probably 2 or 3 years ago, and we did it in December. So, and here is, whoops. So I made a lot of flip books in here, you'll notice. Here's another picture. And some journaling, just on some things that we had put together. We had to make some blood concoction and stuff like that. That was fun. And then here's another picture here. And there. So I made a little flip book. So it just shows that you can use your pictures straight from the film developing place. And then here, I did get these cropped. These are the size I wanted to be cropped. And these are the size that they gave me. Look at how tiny they are. And then, after I find that out, he tells me there's a $10 charge per photo. And I'm like, seriously? Because nobody told me that. So he did these ones for free, and he only charged me $10 for the whole lot. So I couldn't complain too much. And then here is another flip book. That's what the assignment was called, History Through Film. That's what the assignment was called. Not reenactment, but History Through Film. So there's the one photo. And then here is another one. And that is my arm she's munching away on. Must have a yummy arm. And then I put little tags in here too, so we can journal. There's nothing on the back, but if the girls wanted to write something, I left lots of empty places for them to journal. Then there's another photo. I can't believe that's my daughter. Like, seriously, I can't believe that I did that makeup. And here is another journaling spot. And then here she was warming up in the Jeep, because like I said, this was in December. So we're all in our winter coats and everything, and she's in a little t-shirt. And then this one, I love this photo because there's Heather as the zombie, and there's Christy just goofing around. And if you just look at Heather, like, seriously, she could be in one of those zombie movies. She really went to town with this. She was excellent. And then another picture of her. And then here, this is the Tim Holtz film strip, the die. And then here is the one you can buy in the canister. I'm not sure the exact name of it. And then this cloth here I got from the dollar store in the Halloween department, and it was white with red, and I just kind of inked it up so it wasn't as bright, stark white. And then here is the next page, and this is the graveyard scene. If you're familiar with Night of the Living Dead, it starts in the graveyard, and these are the Tim Holt dies, and for some reason they just remind me of a tombstone. And there's nothing on the back, just the pattern paper. And I'll tell you, Tim Holtz probably never thought that anybody would be using his paper for zombie photos. And I kind of like this one because she's smiling in there. And then blank on the back. And then the last one of her walking towards the camera. See, there's snow on the ground. Then these are just some die cuts I used, and I just did the diamond glaze on the birds. And this is, I think it's Martha Stewart punch. I'm not even sure whose punch it is, but I used the fence punch, and then I just extended these down with my cutter, and I backed it on some acetate because these are pretty flimsy, so they needed to be secured a little bit, stabilized, I guess, with the acetate. And then here is the next page. And if you're familiar with the Night of the Living Dead, at the graveyard, the brother says, "They're coming to get you, Barbara." So that's why I had to put that on there. And then brains, that's not from Night of the Living Dead. That's from Return of the Living Dead, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we are big zombie fans in this family. And then here is some more photos of my daughter. And then she sees the zombie munching. Again, I must have one tasty arm because she's sure munched on it a few times there. And then turn the page. And this is one of my favorite photos for the fact that I love that you can see the reflection of the zombie in the gravestone. This was really neat. I thought that was really cool. And then again, she's really going to town on that one. And then here she is. There's Christy running away from the zombie. And then I did one of these charms or fragments, I'm not sure what they're called, and I put a picture of her behind there. And then here I just wrote a little bit about, even though we staged our photos at the cemetery, it was an old cemetery way in the country, and you could tell it was very rarely visited. Like, there was maybe one set of tracks in there, and we were respectful of taking our photos and staging the scenes there. And then I just have some flowers. I had to get some flowers on here somewhere, and then again did the diamond glaze on the bird. So as you can see, you could fit lots of photos in here. And then this page here, this actually is my daughter's photograph of this old house. And the funny thing about this house is it's deserted now. It's pretty much kind of fallen apart now, but years and years and years ago, my sister actually lived there. Many families have lived there, but I know my sister and her boyfriend lived there, and there was a couple other couples that lived there too. It's this tiny house, but nobody's taken care of it over the years, and it's slowly fallen apart. And here it is again. There's the house. And then I just bound this with my Bind It All. And there's my daughter hiding behind the house, looking to see if the zombie's coming to get her. And the zombie is coming to get her. There's my daughter, the victim, and there's the zombie coming to get her. And I left these blanks so if my daughters wanted to write in them, because this is a family album, this isn't just for me. So if they wanted to write anything, they could write down there. And then here's the house actually without it looking grungy. And there's my daughter actually in color. Look at those eyes. She's just, oh, such pretty girls. And that goes in there. And then the next page is going into the house. And just some more sayings from the movie. Victims show evidence of having been partially devoured. And I wrote dead inside. And this actually I got from The Walking Dead, because that's another show we just cannot miss to see. And now we have to wait until, I think, February it starts up again. It's going to drive me crazy. But as you can see, because the dead are inside, it's locked with a chain, so you can't open it. But if you take the chain off and you open it up, there's a zombie. And there's, I can't believe that is my daughter. Seriously, she's such a beautiful girl. And I can't believe we grunged her up so much. And I used one of the Tim Holtz. I think that's Tim Holtz. I'm not even sure. I'm not very good with my brand name, so I might as well not even say who it is. And I put the house number on there. And that's why I use this paper here. I think this paper reminded me of house numbers, so I thought it was a good one for this page. And then the last page, and this is the page I was debating on showing because it's pretty graphic, but it's part of the movie and it's part of my book, so I thought I would share it with you. And it is the last part of the movie where the zombies are getting destroyed. And so it's a shoot to the head. That's one of the parts of the movie. And then double tap, that's not part of the movie, that's part of Zombieland, if I'm not mistaken. And I noticed there's a little piece of glue there. And so we, as weird as it is, we had to try and make this blood look real, and I think we did a pretty good job of it. We put like spices in there and food coloring and oatmeal, and I can't even remember what else we put in there. And then I just got these from the internet. I print them off, and then they weren't bright enough, so I colored them with my Copics. And I wanted to get a shotgun shell for this page, but even though my husband is a hunter and so is his family, nobody had an empty shotgun shell. And there was no way I was going to be playing around with the live one, I'll tell you that right now. So these, I don't know what kind of gun they're from, not that anybody cares, but they were empty and I squished them down to fit in the book. And then here's another little flip book I made, and it says, The Dead Are Returning to Life. And this I got from the internet, and it's the actual cover. No, actually I didn't get that from the internet. Actually, this is from our movie. I scanned it and photocopied it from the movie and then cut it down. And then The Living Dead I wrote in those letters again. And then you flip it. And just to show you, it was a cold day. And if you can see, here's my oldest daughter, Ashley, the photographer. She has ski pants on, a winter jacket, hat, mitts. And here's the victim, Christy, with a winter jacket and mitts on. And they have winter boots on. And then here's Heather, my zombie daughter, in a t-shirt and ripped up jeans. Like, she had to be freezing. I remember we had the Jeep full blast to keep it warm in there for her. And then here she is laying in the snow. I had to put a blanket down because I didn't want to get too cold. And my other daughter taking photos of her. And here she is with the zombie coming after her. And zombie no longer. And this is kind of cute because she has a smile on her face like, it's okay, I'm not really hurt. Don't worry about it. And then Christy cheering that she won. And then here I have a little tag that the girls can do some journaling in there if they want to. And then the back of the album is just plain, and I have my little hearts on there. So that is my zombie album. Thank you so much, Theresa, for letting me be part of your design team. Hopefully you'll let me keep on with being on your design team after seeing this. Hope I didn't disrespect your vintage car. But I love how it turned out. My family just loves this book and they want to keep it on display, so I'm happy with how it turned out. But I really think I need to get onto a girly album or something not so grungy. I'll try. We'll see what happens with that in my next album. But anyway, so thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed my zombie / Night of the Living Dead album. And thank you so much for watching. Bye now.